So off farm right now. I'm retired from K-12 administration and took a job teaching at a private university. So I teach a couple days a week and work from home the rest of it. And that's they call me professor now. In 1982, my wife's grandfather convinced me to pick up the pieces of the family farm and keep it in the family. So we talked long and hard about it. We talked to every friend that we had. Actually, I remember a conversation with a really good friend of the family who was a banker, and he told me it was the worst decision that I was ever making, that it had nothing to do with making money, because it wouldn't, and that I better get a better job if we wanted to keep it. So we didn't take his advice. We bought into the family farm, and we made it work. There were lots of sacrifices, lots of vacations we didn't take that were trips to the farm, but we got to raise our kids around the farm. Never really lived on the farm, but we were always within close proximity. And Wesley, who now farms the family farm, was the kid who rode in the tractor cab morning till night, would never go home with mom. His head bounced against the cab of the tractor so many times in those early cabs and rough things that I'm surprised he stayed with it, but he loved every minute of it. Understanding the source of foods is always a surprise to me. I see it at the university level, and I teach middle-aged adults in their 30s and 40s in my classes who are wanting to change careers, and I'll take a dozen hard-boiled eggs and tell them that they're fresh off the farm, and they look at them and they say they taste different. I said, well, yeah, they're fresh. You know, eggs you buy in the store are 6 weeks old, so they're not fresh. They have no idea about the food chains and the food processes and what it takes to raise from beginning to end in the food cycle. How many times do we get the question of, what do you do with that much popcorn? And it's like, what? The corn that you raise, it's got to be popcorn, right? Or is it all sweet corn? And understanding that it's for livestock production or ethanol is just a really hard reach. But I had a colleague once that was always interested in the farming, and she said, I mentioned something about drying the corn, and her comment was, how do you dry the corn and make sure that it doesn't pop? And it's like, no, we're missing some background knowledge here that is really kind of off. I think the model is for whether it's the Farm Bureau or local farm groups, going and visiting classrooms and talking about rural agriculture. We live in a maybe suburban rural area. It depends what the size of the town is, but so many of the jobs are related to agriculture in some way that our kids need to know. And in some of the larger urban areas, there's no connection to the farm. Just look at the agriculture ed programs, FFA at high schools have had a really hard time struggling in some of the bigger high schools, and it's an important part. And there's a lot of career opportunities for kids that they miss because they don't understand that agriculture is part of this heritage, it's part of this county, and there are a lot of job opportunities out there. Those job opportunities take a lot of math, they take a lot of science, they take a lot of writing skills, reading skills. It just all has to be related. But getting into the classroom and sharing what it is that we do is probably the most important work we can do.